Hello and welcome into another video, and hopefully the volumes of the music and everything are okay. I might actually err on the side of caution and I've turned it down a little bit more because I am so sick of this happening that getting the volume just right when I don't change the decibels of anything seems to be ruining so many videos. So I need to make sure that I don't make it so low that it is only my voice, because otherwise these videos, this one especially, would be boring as fuck, because it's just gonna, well, not boring, but if you're the kind of person who focuses, like who needs music to focus on that in the background like I do, then you might struggle with this and might need your own music, but then maybe it's just a little too much, so it's interrupting your thing, you know. It's yeah, this is why it grinds on me. But basically, I've got music from the Nintendo Music app on in the background. Hopefully that video's got up by now where I'm gushing about it, because it is so useful, and I didn't even think about how useful it would be when I need to make videos like this. I know there's going to be some tangent here, and some waffle, because I do need to explain a lot of stuff. I am very detail-oriented as my autistic self, and this is why I do actually try to explain things fully. So the video itself is, I have multiple videos up on this this channel of where the best place to start with gaming is in 2026, and I went into like getting a Switch 2 and why I think that's the best. And at this moment in time, if you're seeing this, the price hike still hasn't gone live. It goes live on September 1st. I understand the desire to wait out and get a Legend of Zelda Switch 2, which might be coming. Trust me, I'm going to be saving up for that myself, because I have a feeling we're going to get an Ocarina console, and I really hope it has an OLED. It's already going to be more expensive, but it's like, please at least give me an OLED screen on this thing, please, because I'm going to be buying a second Switch that I technically don't need, but at least I can justify it more if, oh yeah, on top of having a Zelda skin, it's an OLED thing. But yeah, that will be more expensive, because I have a feeling that's going to come out after the price hike, and at this moment in time, September 1st is the price hike. As far as I'm aware, it's everywhere. It's more in America because of tariffs, but it's everywhere because of, like, the Strait of Hormuz closing and all that. Like, I hope that's how you pronounce that. I'm trying to avoid as much fucking news as I can, but when that leaches into gaming news, it's one of those things. So yeah, at the moment, its current price is, it's like launch price. I strongly recommend getting it, because it's the only thing that hasn't gone up in price, and all of the other stuff's going up yet again. But with that in mind, my entire thing of why to get a Switch 2 is because of the NSO, you get access to all of these games. And I've got so many different videos up of how to get into RPGs, how to get into action adventure, how to get into survival horror. I didn't do one catch-all, and this is really going to be a long video, because I'm going to need to go through all of these apps. And then there's the fact that I've already mentioned the place that I see it to start with this console is get Breath of the Wild, because it's an absolute masterpiece. But that then brings up some other things here now, doesn't it? I've said in a lot of videos, video games are unlike any other medium. You can pick up a book and you can read that book, you can sit in a movie and watch that movie, you don't need to know anything at all prior to what came. Now, there are definitely better beginner books. It's like, do you start someone with an absolute masterpiece? Do you start someone with something that's easier to read? With movies, there's discussions going on at this moment in time with The Odyssey, where it's like, it was shot in a certain aspect, and which cinema are you going to see it in? I don't go to the cinema, I don't leave my house, again, chronically ill, so I will be doing the same as always. I will be watching it on my HDR10 ultra-wide monitor. Is it the best monitor? No. I wish that I could have afforded a better monitor. I wish that there wasn't a potential Switch 2 coming out. I wish that I could actually save up to maybe get a better monitor, because I keep having a real tech issue with this one, is the fact that the cable, I just have to unplug it and plug it back in every other day. Sometimes twice every other day. It's just so weird. It just starts flickering at me, and the only way to do it is to just basically unplug and plug it back in. Nothing else works for it. So I'd love to actually get a better one, because I actually bought my ultra-wide, and this is what I mean by going on a tangent and that. And at the very least, maybe I should go through some of these apps now, but I need to be able to talk about them, obviously. But at least you'll get better background footage of not just the same 9 games, because the last one I opened was the GameCube one, and there's nothing there. I bought my ultra-wide. genuinely for the John Wick movies. I love the John Wick movies. It's one of the only movie franchises that came out recently. I don't like generic action films. I truly do hate them. When John Wick came out, I thought this is the exact polar opposite of a movie that will be for me. There'll be nothing in here that will make me go, yep, this is amazing. But my love for Keanu Reeves, I was like, I have to try it, because when does he really pick something that isn't good? I fucking love that franchise. I'm quite happy with the fact that we got 4 brilliant movies. The first movie's exceptional. The second movie's even better. The third movie takes a drop. It really does. It always has been the weakest for me. But the 4th movie is one of the only films I would give like a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece for me. It's magnificent. And then we got Ballerina as well. And I know there's some shows and other spin-offs and that. They're doing the thing where it's like they'll do it to death and they'll ruin it. But for now, Ballerina was really good as well. And I bought my ultra-wide just to be able to watch them. And what happened next was something that I genuinely didn't realise. And I'm going to try to show it here by moving the screen on OBS. My ultra-wide basically took me from, I could see Kirby to Zelda, to, if I now set it back up, I could see all of the Kirby to Zelda. I could see Kirby Dream Land 2. I didn't realise it was Kirby behind there. I'll be honest, I didn't, yeah. So, either way, I went from being able to see 3 rows of games. Well, to be honest, it was 2 rows of games, because you get an extra 5 inches or so with your screen dimensions. I'm going to stop moving this real soon, but now I've got the OCD of, I wish I could just hit Control-Z and do that, and now I'm wondering, would Control and Z have actually just set it back to where it was? Either way, ultra-wide gives you extra inches on the side of your screen, and it really does give you actual extra game. It's not stretching the image, you're getting more of the game. So if you've ever been playing a competitive game and wondered how someone saw you sneaking up, Elden Ring, not competitive multiplayer side of things, but Elden Ring. When you go into the catacombs, I went in with a friend, and she was like, how the fuck did you know that enemy was behind there? Because, like, I honestly expected you to get, like, jumped, and it's like, oh yeah, I could see it because I'm a monitor. And it's like, wait a minute, your monitor, like, the ultra-wide thing literally showing you the enemy. It's like, yeah, so I can't see through the wall, but where your camera would end, because we actually tried to do screenshot comparisons, where your camera ended, mine gave me just a little bit extra of that panoramic view, and I could see the imp's arm from behind the thing, and it's like, okay, so that feels like a cheat code, and it's like, I know, but yeah, like, Elden Ring still got me with some of the jump stuff, but either way, that's how I'll be watching the movie. And I know I truly have went on the most tangent of tangents, but I swear, all of this is tying together. With games, as I've said before, you need to know stuff from before. So I truly do wonder. I'm going to try to come up with a list here of 5 games, 5 places where I truly do think it would be a good idea to start. And as a bonus, I might do 5 that, like if you're a returning gamer, so if you're just someone who's trying to get back into gaming, because I've got all of these videos up of how to get into this genre, but I still don't have one of, where do you actually start? Like, where is the true starting point? Because this is one of those things that everyone's going to have a different opinion. Everyone's going to have, well, play this because it's my favourite game type thing, you know, and, well, yeah, but what if you can't appreciate that masterpiece? Because genuinely, if I put you, who's never played a video game before, into Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, I think it would break you. And I think not only would you hate the game, you'd probably hate the medium. I genuinely do not know where the actual place is to start, but as much as you'd be buying a brand new Switch for new games, there is a reason I keep bringing these old apps up and these old games. These are some of the most masterpiece of masterpiece games, and you get some accessibility features that make them so much better. Which one is it in this? So it's ZLZR. Obviously, I'm going to have to actually run through a bit of a game here, and I've just realised you'll be getting audio, so give me a second and I'll pause the Nintendo app, because otherwise you're now getting Strider audio with that. But, yeah, as much as nothing's happened here, let's say this was an actual real game example. In fact, to be honest, if I just walk forward, oh no, I got hurt and I've lost a piece of my health, and I've lost more health, I'm so bad at this game. Like, modern accessibility features. If you put an old game on, even one of the old hard games, and you find yourself being really bad, and there, I've incredibly improved. I only got hit once. And again, oh, okay, maybe this is why I only got hit once. Do the enemies just not attack? I don't really play Strider. It's one of those, like, it's on my, like, long backlog of games. But there, I just officially died in the game. And, yeah, even a hard game, you can just pull back at any point. And it's why these apps are so fucking brilliant and so fucking useful. For my actual new game, I still will stick with Breath of the Wild, because I do think the tutorial of that sets you up, teaches you so well how to play a modern day open world action game. It is why I'm going for that, and it is a risk because, again, it's a modern day masterpiece. It really is, and it's like, you who are brand new to gaming genuinely may not appreciate it, and I don't mean that in a shitty way or anything. It's because, yeah, like, it's hard with games. You truly do have to know what came before to have as deep an appreciation. You can still love a game, you can still have it be your first, it can still be the thing that gets you into games, and it can still be something that, like, is a masterpiece for you. But for people like me who've been playing this franchise for 40 years, I'm obviously going to get more out of it. Well, obviously I haven't been playing it for 40 years, I'm only about to turn 39, but it's I've been playing it my entire life, and it's a 40-year-old franchise is what I meant to say. I'm going to get more out of it because I know all of the ins and outs. I know the Easter eggs. I know the very first time that you walk into a cave and you get given a sword. I know the very first time that I find a waterfall that I can walk behind. I have all of these memories of all of these fucking Zelda games of, oh, I've just walked into, oh, I didn't realise this would be in Breath of the Wild. I used to live here in Ocarina of Time, because there's so many locations from the other games, like names of locations. I'm going to get more out of it than you who's brand new. But I still think it's a great place to start. So Breath of the Wild is the first game in the in the 5 games. It will always be my go-to. But then, do you go really far back with the NES? The NES has some of the best games of all time. Super Mario Bros. 3, the original Legend of Zelda. I don't recommend any new gamer play this, by the way. Like, we suffered as kids. I can only imagine the child who got this, because this wasn't my first Zelda, and I'm so glad this wasn't my first Zelda. This is one of the most brutally broken and difficult, and just... I'm trying not to say it too hard of a swear word, but it's a fucking evil game. It truly is. Like, it's brilliant. It's a masterpiece. There's a reason that it spawned my favourite all-time franchise. It's great. I'm glad I finally played through it. If this was my first Zelda game, it would have broke me the same way that I worry that playing Tears of the Kingdom would break you. I truly do. It's one of those that it's great. Never play this as your first 10, first 20, first 50. Maybe once you've played 50 games. Genuinely. Maybe once you've got to that point where it's like, you know what, I am really getting into this. If you are the kind of person who wants to start here, but start the hard and start where everyone else did, then great, because at the end of the day, so many gamers did start with this as their first game, and it's not exactly been a bad thing. It's just, that was of course you started with that. It was the 80s, you had to. You ain't the 80s anymore, you don't have to. So I personally would be skipping the NES entirely, and I know that's sacrilege. I'd be doing the same for the Game Boy. As much as I want to actually pick things that might be great to get into and might be simple, I think you have to start with the Super Nintendo. If you go from Zelda to playing a Mario, you play a Super Mario World. Now, on a technicality, I personally think the Game Boy Advance version of this game is slightly better because it adds more content, but I think you go for the SNES version because the SNES version, firstly, it looks so much prettier. It's really badly washed out and stretched out because the Game Boy Advance was like a 2-inch unbacklit screen, and you're playing it on something like a monitor that could be 60 inches for all I know. I genuinely, like, I don't know what size monitor you've got, but the colours and everything are so much better on the SNES version of this. And I've just realised I've done it again. I've got the music of Mario playing and the music of the Nintendo app. But yeah, it's this is one of the all-time greatest platformers, and it's not even close. It truly isn't. That still to this day, you will get people like, I literally just watched a stream of one of my favorite streamers, like one of my favorite people on YouTube. I don't like mentioning people because at the end of the day, if I understand I do weird content and I don't want to ever be linked in a way and people go, well, hang on a second, this is someone like talking about some serious mental health issues on their channel a lot of the time, but it's Maximilian, dude. Like, if you have never ever played this game before, I think you are in for one hell of a treat. And if you have played this game before and you haven't watched his stream, it's one of the funniest streams you will ever fucking watch. Almost everything that you expect would trip up a new player happens to him. I am being so very careful here because I don't want to spoil a damn thing for new players. You play this game, it's still a masterpiece, it still holds up, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Like, the controls are perfect, the controls are simple, you have 3 buttons. Granted, I do wish the controls were a little bit different, but you can actually fully customize things like that on the Switch too as well. But basically, you hold the Y button to run, you push the B button to jump, and holding it allows you to jump further, so this is a push versus this is a hold. And then you've got a button to do that, which jumps off Yoshi, if you want off Yoshi, and it also smashes these little yellow blocks. That, as far as I'm aware, that's it. Like, there's a start button to pause the game, but as far as I'm aware, I'm pressing everything else here. Nothing else is happening. Yeah, it's a 3-button game. I mean, on a technicality, it's a 7-button game if you include the D-pad, because obviously the D-pad is 4 buttons, up, down, left, right. But yeah, it's a very simple game, very easy to get into. And what's the goal for anyone who's never played a Mario game? You go from the left to the right, and then you see that there. That's the exit. And you've beat the level. You've accomplished something. Congrats, have a cookie. I don't mean like to be like shitty or anything. You are going to get one hell of a sense of satisfaction from beating levels. You truly are. This is that kind of game. There'll be a level that you will find, and it will get you. See, this is one of those, do I want to actually mention the red dot? If you're a completely new player, just explore those levels, is all I'll say. Just, like, because there's no way for you as a brand new player who's never played this game before to be able to figure that out. And if you don't know about this, I think you might go through all of these levels once and miss largely important parts of the game. Again, I'm trying as hard as I can to not spoil any of the actual magic that happens in this game. But if it's got a red dot as a level, just explore it. And maybe sometimes explore the levels that can't have dots, like the ghost houses. Just explore them is all, okay? And with that, where do we move after Super Mario World? There might eventually be a cut, by the way, because I don't know how long this video is going to be, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk the entire length without, like, stuttering or fluttering or anything like that at all. But yeah, again, I wanted to kind of do this real time. I genuinely did. The problem is I could genuinely just fucking mention so many SNES games right now. I could easily go, right, so you've played a 3D Zelda, now play A Link to the Past, a 2D Zelda, and it will be a great thing. But I also want to try to get you into different ranges of games. It's why, like, I would love to mention Super Mario World 2. This is not a sequel to the game that I've just shown you. It is absolutely not, and I can't explain that without showing it. But it's still a platformer, but you play as Yoshi instead of playing as Mario and Yoshi. Like, you play as Yoshi and Mario. There's a difference, and the gameplay is completely different. It's spectacular, but it's one of the most difficult platformers on the console. It's one that you should definitely look into, but again, if we're truly going for something completely different, this is where I have to mention Metroid, and I don't know how to mention Metroid without being the heathen who absolutely despises Super Metroid. But as far as I'm aware, Zero Mission is available on the Game Boy Advance, and I think Zero Mission is truly the best place to start if you want to get into Metroidvanias. For free. I have mentioned that I think Hollow Knight Silksong teaches you these things. Are you kidding me? Zero Missions are on here. So, if Zero Mission ever comes up on this app, then definitely go for that. Oh, it is there. It is there. It's just, for some reason, not beside Metroid Fusion. Oh, I thought it was on there. So yeah, Metroid Zero Mission. It is a remake of the very first Metroid game, which is kind of why it's perfect to start, because they do actually have lore and story in these games. And I'm not saying to play through all of Metroid in order, but if you do like this game, it might be worth trying to do that. The only problem is, the only way to play Metroid 2 on the Nintendo Switch at this moment in time is via the Game Boy emulator, and it's not even close to the best version of Metroid 2. I actually personally think the fan-made remake, is it A2MR or AM2R? I personally think that is the best version of Metroid 2, but it's not available on the Switch either, because it's a fan-made remake. It's not official, and the only official remake is the 3DS game, which never got ported to the Switch. Which it might eventually. They might do it. But yeah, I think this is a great place to go after you've got into action games and platformers, because this is the cerebral gamer game. This is the... Not everyone likes this genre. This is the one that if after a couple hours you are absolutely hating it, it may not be for you, but at the same time, this is the genre that you kind of need to stick with and brute force a little bit, and maybe look up a guide and maybe ask for some hints and tips because you're completely lost. Because then when it finally clicks, this is one of the best franchises and one of the best genres in gaming, as far as I'm concerned. It's absolutely magnificent. It's all about teaching you how to explore in video games. It's essentially showing you, hey, you've got this map. In the original, you didn't. You've got this map. I'm going to tell you where to go. You know where to go. And you may be thinking, well, that takes all of the challenge out of it. I know exactly where to go. Yeah, you know where to go. Good luck fucking getting there. And I'm being genuine with that. Good fucking luck getting there. The early ones like this, I'll probably just need to jump up a shaft. I see that. I've played this game that many fucking times. I'm pretty sure I just need to jump up this shaft. But yeah, there are times when it's like, hey, you need to go all the way over here into this section of the map. And it's like, huh, I've already been in that area. There wasn't any more map to the right. What do you mean I have to go back there and I have to go further right? Because, yeah, they don't always tell you, by the way, as well. This is something with Metroidvanias. Not all of the time will you be told exactly where to go. You'll just have to figure it out. But this one, again, it's a remake of the first one that added some accessibility, and I truly do think it's a great way to start. Because this one, yeah, you'll get times where it'll tell you where to go, and figuring out how to get there is the actual challenge. And you will have to learn so many little secrets, like this here. Like, I literally couldn't morph ball through that, so I just had to shoot the blocks. And eventually you get, like, little morph ball bombs, so you could bomb things, and that's how you get through there. But obviously, you're not going to know that at the start. Apologies if that's a spoiler. This is, like, one of the earliest things, and one of the earliest abilities. And this is what I mean by sometimes you might want to get a little bit of hints and tips, because the game has literally just taught me. And this is why I try to do these in videos and try to do it live, so I can actually come up with examples as to why, and this truly is it. The game has taught me I can't get through there. So if I shoot that and break it, oh, I can get through there. So it teaches me I can shoot that. But now it's teaching me my gun cannot reach that distance. So, therefore, I clearly am not supposed to be going there. I'm not supposed to beat my head off a wall. I'm not supposed to, like, oh, maybe I can, like, do a little glitch and just move a little bit forward and blast and break just enough. No, it's telling me, don't fucking go this way. Go this way later. So, I go this way later. And on the Switch, you can obviously take screenshots as well, by the way. Like, another great reason why I think this is where you start after you've gone for an open world action game. You've gone to a platformer. This will teach you, like, this is like the next evolution, I feel, because the stuff that you'll have learned playing Zelda and the stuff that you'll have learned doing platforming in Mario is perfect for a Metroid game. So, start with a remake of the first one, because this still is an absolutely fantastic fucking game. And I figure if you're actually watching this thing, you are probably the kind of person who is also interested in spending money. And I say that because I didn't know whether or not to just stick with free stuff, and it's like, well, I've already got a video of what classics to do and this, that, and the other. This is truly about ways to get into gaming, what 5 games to play first, because I think this gives you a wide range of genres and different forms of gameplay, and you will learn very quickly whether or not you actually are into a franchise or not. This one, if you love Fire Emblem Three Houses, you are going to get so much for your fucking money. There's DLC, which you don't need to buy, but if you want to, you can get it. I still haven't played through most of this game, and that's a problem because there's a sequel coming out on September 24th, and I really want to play the sequel, but this is such a gigantic game. You have 4 people here. You've got Byleth, you've got Dimitri, you've got... It's been a while since I've played it. Claude, I was just about to say, which I remembered Claude. I couldn't remember Edelgard, though. All of these people essentially have a champion. Now, not technically, because Byleth is in all of them, and Byleth's the main character. You can change Byleth's name if you want to as well, but there is still a 4th path. Basically, you can play through blue, yellow, or red. I've only played through the blue storyline. And once playing through all 3 of them, there's an alternate raid, I believe. The blue campaign took me about 80 hours. I didn't have the time nor the patience, and I wasn't truly in love. This is the game that got me to love Fire Emblem, but I wasn't so in love that I'm like, I don't know if I can play 300 hours of this kind of game. And now it's a case of the sequel's coming out, and I'm really interested in the sequel, and the sequel looks like it also has 4 stories, and it's like, do I play through all of the stories of this first? Because then that's like 600 hours of game. If you end off liking this, if you end off liking this franchise, if you end off liking this genre of game, you will get so much money here. Story-wise, it's fantastic. It's got some of the best written cutscenes, some amazing dialogue, some great feel-good moments. You can have tea, like an actual like high tea, so tea, cakes, sandwiches and stuff like that with characters. But it's also a full-on, old-school, turn-based strategy RPG. And all of that might sound scary as fuck to someone who's never played a game before, but you need to try these games, and they're actually, believe it or not, one of the most accessible, because more than anything else, all of the games that I have recommended to you so far have been all about developing your exploration, developing your reaction times, developing how you learn and explore and play a game, and like all of these little things, and like how to interact with items and how to use items and that. This is a completely fucking different thing. Okay, why would you just let me start the map? Okay, you can tell it's been a while since I've fucking done this. It's like, yes, I'm inspecting my things. This is different. Oh, it's the thing in the middle. It's literally the thing in the middle that I'm so blind I couldn't see the word fight. So yeah, this, you've got all the time in the world. Truly do have all the time in the fucking world. You may not have all of the turns in the world, and that can be an important thing. Sometimes there are turn limits on these games, but I'm going through all the dialogue here. Obviously, I'm kind of skipping it. And there. Now it's my turn. I can sit here and take 6 hours if I want to. I won't need that, but I can sit here and take 6 hours if I want to truly assess. I can go, right then, so this is this part of the map over here. What's over here? There's a rogue with a steel sword. There's another rogue with a steel sword. Where can these rogues attack to? Right, so they can attack up to there. And how can they attack? Can they attack with just their steel sword? Do they have bows or anything? Oh, this one's got a bow. This means this one can attack from distance. I can take hours examining this entire thing and figuring out my strategy. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go for something rather basic, and it's something that can be an invaluable lesson to a lot of people. There we go. I think that should be... to be fair, I haven't... Yeah, this is an invaluable lesson. Check before you move. But to be honest, I'm fine with them actually attacking. It was more about making sure to limit the range of attacks. So there we go. And because this should, in theory, they should now attack me, and I should be powerful enough to counter. Yeah, so Edelgard got no damage. Unfortunately, it was a miss. But still, if Edelgard hadn't missed, I think Edelgard would have killed the rogue. Maybe at least severely wounded the rogue. Not moving, or at least moving backwards, can actually be a great thing in these sorts of games. And yeah, it's all turn-based. It's overwhelming at first. It is, because you have to learn a lot of things. You have to learn the difference between a ranged unit and a combat unit and a magician unit. Like, so this one here uses a tome, Nosferatu. You have to learn all of these little terms, all of these things, like who's best to fight against what thing. Like, am I best off sending a magic user against an archer? Am I best off sending a magic user against a melee character? As you can see, no, because that almost got Lindhard killed. Silly move to make, but it doesn't matter, because worst case scenario, I just rewind the battle back, because this one does at least have that as well. I'm trying to remember exactly how it does it. Auto battle, retreat. There is definitely a way to reset in this game, and it might be, oh, is it the right analog in or something? Nope, that actually apparently skipped my entire turn. There's a button basically that rewinds back. They added it for this one, and it's a very, very accessible turn-based strategy game. It's something that, if you get into it, again, it'll take you months of playing through it. It's the sort of thing that, like myself, you might only play through one of the stories. I still got 80 hours. That's exceptional value for money, you know, for the amount of game that I got. And the fact that there's then all of these other things, and it gives you the skill of like oh, is this it? Yes, it is. It's ZL. So basically, I can pull back to wherever I want, and I've got 9 uses. And yeah, that I've literally pulled back to the start of the battle. So now I know not to do the thing with Lindhart. You know, it's such an accessible game. It's not something to be scared of. Learn at your own pace. You'll get a great story, and you'll get some great combat. And with that, now I need to figure out what racing game, because I have to mention a racing game. I've tried to go through so many different things. I've went through the open world action. I've went through the platformer. I've went through a kind of a mishmash of the two with the Metroidvania. It's an action game. It's a platformer. It's still teaching you things. And then I've went to the completely polar opposite, the turn-based strategy. There are other extreme examples I could swap to. I could be like, hey, go to a third-person shooter like Splatoon. But I honestly feel racing games. And I feel racing games because there are so many games, like genuinely, if you have absolutely no interest in playing a racing game at all, if you just don't think it's the sort of thing that you're going to enjoy, I completely understand that. That's completely fair. That's completely fine. But there's so many games. You won't get it with Zelda. I mean, Breath of the Wild has a motorcycle, but you won't get it with Zelda. There are so many action games. You'll have to drive. Doesn't fucking matter if you want to. You will have to drive. You want to play the brand new James Bond game? Guess what? James Bond drives a car. And there's quite a few missions where you have to drive. You know? Like, so... Mario Kart is kind of the obvious one, because everyone should play Mario Kart. And there's different... Like, Mario Kart 8's the best Mario Kart, but Mario Kart World's the more current Mario Kart. I would love to be able to see it get F-Zero. I would love to be able to see it get anything like that, to be honest, but the racing games are a dying breed these days because of the open world racer, which is why, again, Mario Kart World kinda is the logical choice here, because this will get you into racing games. Yeah, it's got some bullshit. Like all Mario Kart games, it's got some bullshit. It's going to seem wacky, it's going to seem scary. There's going to be times when you're driving and you're going to curse the sight of a zebra, believe it or not, or you'll curse the sight of a plume of fire, or you'll hate the sound of a fucking flying blue shell coming to blow you up. But the other reason why I'm saying Mario Kart World, they've added in, again, some accessibility features. This is a great way to learn, because, oh no, I've drove completely off the track. What am I doing? Doesn't matter, I can just rewind. Now, it doesn't rewind the CPUs. They still keep on going. Doesn't matter how far I rewind, they don't rewind as well, so I am making things slower for myself. But there are times when actually using rewind is an advantage that kind of gets you the win. I don't like advocating for cheating, but the flying blue shell truly is one of the biggest piece of shit creations that Nintendo have ever fucking made. For anyone who doesn't know, when you're in first place, you will get hit by a shell that could be fired from as far back as 24th. It doesn't benefit the 24th place racer at the fuck all, unless it manages to somehow hit everyone, which it used to do that. The original blue shell used to hit everyone. It used to be the great equalizer. You could only get it in last place and it would hit absolutely fucking everyone. But now it just hits first place, guaranteed. And the weird thing is, there's even ways to cheat the AI so it doesn't hit first place. It hits first place when it decides who first place is. If I fired this and first immediately dropped to second, it might still actually go for you because it had targeted you before you dropped to second. But if you get hit by a blue shell, or, I mean, to be fair, it doesn't work with lightning. Actually, does it? Holy crap, I think it works with lightning. I've never tested that. You just rewind, and yeah, you still go backwards, but you actually recover faster than you would have. So it screws you over less. This is honestly not the best Mario Kart. It still is fun, it still is great, and it's chaotic, and it's crazy. But believe it or not, this does still teach you driving things. Now, granted, it's got different controls. I'm not going to lie about that. This is a racing game where it predominantly uses the A button to accelerate. I actually personally change my controls when I play this game normally because I don't like holding the A button. It starts to cramp my thumb when I'm doing other things on the controller. And in a lot of action games, it'll actually be the triggers, so ZLZR in this case. But it's one of those that it still will teach you the fundamentals of driving. I know it won't fully teach you the controls of driving, but it will teach you the fundamentals. You will have to learn how to turn in a game. And way better than a game where it's designed where all you're actually doing is racing and driving. And the best part about Mario Kart World is, if you are struggling to really struggling with the races, if they're just too chaotic for you to get to grips with the fundamentals, even using all of these little hints and cheats and everything, on top of the fact that you can actually turn auto accelerate and everything on, and auto and smart steering, these are definitely great things to like ease you in. But obviously, they're not going to teach you for the likes of Bond. Bond doesn't have all of that. I mean, actually, I think Bond does have a smart steering system, funnily enough, now that I mention it, because there are times when I started to veer off and it was warning me that I was going to crash type thing. But so maybe that's the bad example. But Cyberpunk, that doesn't have them, you know. And Cyberpunk's available on the Switch too, and you might want to play that. This has free roam. This is why this is open world. At any point from that menu, I can just start driving around. So I'm still on a track. I'm still here. There's way less chaoticness happening. There's way less, like, hazards. Yeah, there's still fireballs in front of me. There's still characters that I can crash into. But I can just take my time here. And I can learn the absolute basics. I can learn how to drift around that corner. I can keep doing that as many times until I learn how to do it. You know, it's just, I really do think this is a great, easy into it racing game. Driving game, whatever you want to call it, and it'll teach you the fundamentals so that when you get to that point where you're like, you know what, I'll finally put on this game because I'm interested in this, and suddenly, without realizing it, you're driving and you've never driven before in a game, instead of going, oh shit, I don't know how to do this. And you'll get that, you'll still get that. Of course, you'll get that with fucking other games as well. There'll be moments in Zelda Breath of the Wild where you're like, oh shit, I don't know how to do this, and you have to learn on the go. That's going to happen. You're brand new to gaming. But I honestly think this is a great 5 to teach you the ins and outs of what to do, what to go through. You're also going to be getting some absolutely quality games by doing this. You're not going to be getting the absolute peak of any of these franchises, but you're still going to be getting a masterpiece. And that's great, because that means that when you do have the appreciation, when you do have the knowledge of playing these other games, you'll be able to then really get into the best of the best with the franchise. Which, again, with Metroid, I am a weird one. I'm the person who doesn't like Super Metroid. I don't like the official remake of Metroid 2. I don't like Metroid Dread. I love Metroid Fusion. That was actually the first 2D Metroidvania that really got me. And I love Metroid Zero Mission. I don't like the other 3, as I say. I like the fan remake of the second one. And then with Metroid Prime, I love all 4 of them. They're definitely varying quality. Like, 100% the first one is the best one, and it's not even fucking close. And I almost thought, do I see it? Put Metroid Prime as one of the 5, but honestly, no. No, you play Metroid Prime a little bit later in your gaming library, I feel. I think that's the sort of thing that you at the very least should play Metroid Zero Mission before you play Metroid Prime. But that might be a great way to go after those 5, you know? But yeah, Zelda, Mario, Metroid, Fire Emblem, and Mario Kart. It's, for me personally, I think these are a great 5 to get you into things, to teach you, to see what you like and dislike, because there is a strong chance you will hate Metroid. There is a strong chance you will hate Fire Emblem. But there's also the gamer out there who actually, there's a strong chance you'll hate Zelda, and there's a strong chance you'll hate Mario, but you'll love Metroid and Fire Emblem. Everyone's different, and just because a game's great doesn't mean it's for you. You will have to figure out your likes, your dislikes, what franchises. It's harder than movies. It's harder than books, because movies and books, they're just concepts, they're ideas. It's like, do I like a comedy? Have I ever seen a comedy? Do I like to laugh? If the answer is yes, that I like to laugh, then chances are I like comedy movies, you know? Whereas these different game franchises, these different genres, there's so much more into them. It's like, I've played Zelda. Will I like Metroid? Maybe. You might. There's a good chance. But there's also a good chance you'll fucking hate it. I know some people who love Zelda and Metroid for the same reasons, because they are so similar. But I also know people who love Zelda and hate Metroid, and love Metroid and hate Zelda. Games are finicky that way. They're just weird. They're just something that you have to experience. They're something you have to explore, because you can never truly know until you play it. It's the most infuriating franchise. There is a reason that... It's not franchise, medium. There is a reason that there is so many people online who fucking explode when they finally play something. Like, you'll see reviews of Saros is probably the fucking perfect one. I know so many people who got so pissed off when IGN gave that game a fucking 7. And then a lot of people played it. And a lot of people suddenly realized, oh, this looks way better than it plays, huh? It's just one of those. Games are misleading as fuck with their trailers. And it's not that they're trying to be misleading. Some devs definitely are, don't get me wrong. There are some devs that do try to hide things. I mean, there's literally Perfect Dark. The Perfect Dark remake was a trailer that is now infamous because of how much of it was kind of faked, and people were like, well, it looked so good and looked so far along, and then the devs were like, yeah, we just are very good at making trailers. That was nowhere near what it was like, you know? So there are some trailers out there designed to do it, intentionally to manipulate you. But for the most part, they're not trying to mislead you. It's just really fucking hard to convey what a video game is in a watching medium. It's really hard to convey what a video game is reading a review. It's just really hard to truly, like, unless you're constantly coming up with examples. And again, if you're watching this video, chances are you've never fucking played any of these games. So what examples are going to be of any use to you? I can't say to you, hey, play Mario Kart if you like this, you know? Because if you haven't played any of them. So it's why I did this, and it's why I know at the start of the video I said maybe I should mention 5 games if you're a returning gamer. Honestly, I think the list is the same. Because it depends on what kind of returning gamer you are, and there's too many variables. I don't know where you... Like, I'm not going to do a list for if you stopped gaming at the NES era, if you stopped gaming at the SNES era. So yeah, I'm abandoning that idea and instead just going for these 5 games. This long-ass vid is finally coming to an end. And yeah, there's no one true list. Okay? Like, if you are watching this and you're not the kind of person who actually needs it, please do post what you would steer people to. Post the 5 games, post the genre, post the reason why. Don't just obviously list off 5 games. Like, you can do, and I'm not trying to say, like, do extra work or anything. But again, try to view it from the eyes of, if you're talking to someone who has never played a video game before, just listing 5 games with absolutely fuck all but their names isn't really going to be helpful. Like, if you don't see why, because then it might be a case of, well, what if they play the first game in your list and they absolutely hate it? Then they might be thinking, well, do I just don't like this person's opinion? Is it a case of, was I supposed to hate this game? Like, if you recommend Baby Steps to someone as their first game, then personally, I think you're evil. But I also get it. I kinda get it. Like, I would never, but I kinda get it. So, like, maybe mention why Baby Steps, you know? Because, yeah, I might as well at least mention for non-gamers, Baby Steps is a game designed to frustrate you. It is a game designed to be brutally difficult. It is a game designed where the smallest millimeter of accomplishment is actually something you start to be grateful for. But then it can all come crashing down, and after making 2 millimeters of progress, and I'm being genuine, 2 millimeters of progress, you could fuck up and then lose everything and be reset like literal 20 feet. And I know 20 feet doesn't sound like much, but when I'm talking 2 millimeters of progress, 20 feet's a fucking mile, you know? Because the whole point is, you're walking as a character with really difficult controls designed to be finicky, because that's the point of the game. And that's the other thing with video games. Do I recommend 5 artistic games? Like, you know, like, do I recommend games like Journey, which are super simple to get into, but they're like such an experience? And personally, I don't think that's a great place to start. I think grow the fundamentals and then grow your soul. Get into basics with gaming and then get into the artsy games, because you'll appreciate them a lot more. I truly do think you'll appreciate them a lot more. I think you'll like them, because artsy games like that can be like really easy to get into. They're designed for that way. They're designed for the non-gamer. And hell, maybe that turns out to be the kind of gamer you are. Genuinely, I know people who are only into the artsy games, like your Journeys, your Flows, your Senuas, you know. They're fantastic for a reason, and I've got to do a video on Senua at some point. I truly do. I've got ideas for it. But maybe that is your kind of niche, but you'll not find out without going through some of the other stuff first. And if so, then honestly, you've probably wasted your money on a console, because there's not a lot of them out there. But if so, then at least you've found out, I guess, and at least you know. And hell, maybe there will still be, like, you'll be into artsy games and also cozy games. And yeah, like the fact that I didn't even mention an Animal Crossing or anything like that in this 5 as well, there's too much. There truly is. So yeah, post your own lists, because there are so many rights and there aren't really that many wrongs. This is just where I personally would go to, and I'd see it's why I tried to pivot after Metroid, going for totally different things like a strategy game and a racing game. I could have quite easily added a Stardew Valley, fucking Animal Crossing. Like, I could have added a cozy game. I could have added a puzzle game. There's so many different genres out there that, as I say, there's no right, but there's also no real wrong. So this will be my 5. And until next time, I've been Sky Fellowship. I truly do hope you have a great rest of your day. And I hope you get into gaming. I really do, because it's fantastic. Until next time, bye. I forgot to move the thing over, so this end is now much longer. Right, bye.